So the snow's mostly gone. Here's my board video for you, showing you what I'm doing again. So, same old shit. Yep, you know, and I kind of wander from the living room into the kitchen, and I stand in front of the fridge, and I go, yeah, there's nothing. And then I come over here and get coffee and cook my eggs, and then I walk back out into here, and there's the dog toys. I always stop for a moment and gaze lovingly up here, and then I walk in and sit in my big chair. And after about a minute or two of sitting in that chair, I get tired of TV, and then I trip over the dog toys. Then I come into my, climate-controlled shop area, and I gaze at the guitars for a little while. And, what seems strange is, look at that. There's an extra hanger right there waiting for something. I'm afraid it's probably going to have to be the Cherry ES335. And so then I think to myself, I think it's time to work on the guitar. Into the workshop. Time to put a coat on the thing. The rings are starting to look nice and honey colored. Got all the hardware, all the gold matches. These are my 10mm bushings because the holes were different sized in the machines that I came with them, but these just press in and then the machines come up through the back. So continuing with the day in the life of Bry, here we go. We gotta use the tack cloth to wipe down any potential dust that may have accumulated overnight. Sitting outside, out there. Ooh, look at that back. All right, that's guitar porn. I'll give you a moment to clean the pipes. Look at, oh, hang on, the shine just hit it. There we go. And don't forget, made in Kingfield, Maine. And of course, every day requires a new rag, taken from a ratty old flannel sheet. Now we got a perfect rag. Of course, I just set it on top of the perfect guitar, so now I have to tack cloth again.
Little bum mouse in the background, driving towards the daylight. I don't have the whole album, but I'm doing what you do. I'm listening on YouTube to see if I like enough to buy it.
So I have a system now. I put a little dot on there, and I always start with the headstock because it just has my name on it. So, and then we get very scientific in our measurements, and we pour precisely a 2.8-inch circle of 60-degree viscosity Tru Oil. You have to make sure it's 60-degree viscosity, or the diameter of that circle could affect the volume being placed, and that could ultimately inhibit the tonal actuality. Uh-oh, we got a little lint spot. Lint alert, lint alert. Anyway, back to tonal actuality. I don't remember what I was saying, but it sounded pretty damn good. And then we just rub it in, caressing it in a vigorous circular motion, hitherto unknown to the people of this area, but destined to take the place of the mudshock in your mythology. The circular motion, rub it. See if you can identify that lyric. And tell me the name of the artist where that comes from. Okay, now once I've completed the vigorous circular motion, hitherto unknown to the people of this area, but destined to take the place of the mudshark in your mythology, circular motion, rub it. Once again, tell me the name of the artist that wrote that song. Then I do one long streak down to go with the grain line, all the way from the top to the bottom, making sure that I don't start anywhere in the middle of the wood and end up with a spot. And this seems to work pretty well on keeping the blob builds up from occurring, and I also don't get any runs this way. I haven't had any runs on this one, just slipped. So there, I got to do that one again. So there's the front, quickly and easily. Now we're going to do the sides, and we got a killer tune going here. I love this Driving Towards the Daylight song. So I put a little blob on there, and this is very scientific as well. We just run it all the way around. All the way around. Caress of steel, one might say. Oh, who wrote that one? Caress of steel. Let me think of that. Something going ding-ding on my phone through my Bose Wave radio. I'm realizing when this is all done, this is going to be like a 20-minute video that you will never sit through because this is really boring. But I'm having a blast doing this. Anyway, And finally, we reach the back of the guitar, where once again we're going to, almost forgot something. We have to run the tack cloth over very gently, just in case I picked up any dust particles while it was laying on its back. And back to the 2.8-inch, 60-degree viscosity in order to maintain integrity of the tonal quality. And we're going to rub this in a vigorous circular motion, hitherto unknown to the people of this area, but destined to take the place of the mud shark in your mythology. Here it goes now, the circular motion. Rub it. There we go. Because we reached down and we scooped out a generous helping of that deadly yellow snow. The deadly yellow snow from right down where the huskies go. And he stood up and he looked around, and then Nook said, I can't see, do 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 do. See, now we're doing these straight line with grain in order to maintain the intonation qualities necessary of this beautiful marble-like cherry finish. And on that note, I'm going to let you go now. And finally, the application of Tru Oil on these precise little parts. This I've discovered is tricky to not get fingerprints, so I put my fingers inside with the rubber gloves on. Lav servicing gloves, which probably I'll never be able to get any more of because now everybody's stealing them for various health reasons as opposed to the important things like guitar finishing. Anyway. Hey, well, thanks for joining me this morning on Brian's exciting episode of How to Rub Stuff Onto a Red Guitar. Chester, stop barking. Come here. Tune in next week when we've got a special on paint drying. We're going to stand in front of a wall and wait for the paint to dry. It's been a real favorite around these parts, second only to the Let's Watch the Coffee Maker drip coffee into the pot. Thanks for joining us. Tune in next week.